rock stars, Matt Vanderbo here. Hey, anytime I meet new people, they invariably ask, what do you do for a living? Sometimes they ask that before they even ask for my name, which I don't know why people care what you do for work, but whatever. When I tell them that I am a music composer for TV shows, it seems like the next questions are, oh, so you write jingles? Or,
oh, you're like Charlie Sheen from 2.5 Men.
But no, I don't write jingles, and I've never even seen 2.5 Men. The truth is that I compose musical cues. And if you are trying to get into this aspect of the music business, then you too will be writing musical cues. So at this point, the next obvious question is, what the is a musical cue? And I'm going to answer that question and more. So stick with me for a few minutes. Now let's dive in. A musical cue is a drag and drop ready piece of music that you have written far in advance of anyone ever needing it. I want you to think of a musical cue in the same context that you would think of stock photography. If you've ever put any type of poster together or a website or done any Instagram posting where you needed a specific image and you didn't have that image yourself, you would probably go to Google or any number of stock photography websites and type the image into their search bar. Let's just say you were looking for a 4-leaf clover. So you would type 4-leaf clover into the search bar and boom, here comes the images. And the photos that you see are pictures that people took months or years or even decades in advance of you searching for them. These photographers anticipated a need and knew that at some point, sometime, someone was going to need the picture that they took. And so they filled that need before that need was ever really expressed. And lo and behold, here you come looking for that very thing, and voila, it's a match made in heaven. Our musical cues are very similar to stock photography. We write them before we even know for sure whether they are going to be used. A lot of times we have specific instructions to go off of, and a client will give you very detailed guidelines for what the music they want needs to sound like, but sometimes you are composing blind. You are just anticipating that someone somewhere in the future is going to need the music you write. It's all kind of a blind faith gamble here. So put on your little Nostradamus hat, that's Nostradamus, and try to anticipate the music that will be asked for at some point. Now, there are many strategies for anticipating previous needs. And if you subscribe to this channel, I will give you a whole host of strategies on how you can compose music with the best chances of success later on. But we don't know when our music is going to be used, or where it is going to be used, or if it is ever going to be used.
Period.
That's just all part of the business. This is much different than writing scores for movies. In musical scoring, a composer actually has an edit of the video on their screen, and they are composing music to the picture. So all the action on the screen informs their composition process. Cue composers do not have that luxury. It is very rare that a guy like me ever gets video in advance. So we have to be making the stuff in anticipation of future usage. Now, a good musical cue can live many lives on many different shows. In fact, one piece of music can be placed on 30 or 40 or 50 different shows or more and churn out revenue for you for the next handful of decades. But we don't know where these things are going to wind up. They could be on shows like 16 and Pregnant or Mormon Wives. We don't know. Do we really care? No, not really, as long as they pay the bills. That's one of the things I like the most about writing cues is the constant surprise that comes when I check my cue sheets and open up my royalty statements and I see a list of shows I've never heard of before. I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. Or when I'm watching a football game and I hear my music come on. Like these are all just fun surprises. The downside is I'll probably never go to a movie theater to watch a movie that I scored, okay?
Yeah, whatever.
So, long story short, a musical cue is a pre-written piece of music that you have written in hopes that it fills a need somewhere down the road. Okay, that's it. And if you stick through this playlist called Music 101, I will take you through all the different strategies that I use to make sure my music rises above the pack. I hope this gives you some insight into what my job is and what your job could possibly be by enlightening you on what a musical cue is. And with that knowledge, you can now commence writing music to get placements so you can make some money!